Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the time for you. It's evening, it's afternoon here in France. So, what about anger and how to express anger in honorable ways? So, I want to make space for some anger in me and share with you about where I see myself being expressing it in honorable ways, and eventually, if I see myself expressing it in dishonorable ways, honorable ways. Um, I explored a lot already in French, and I think I'm getting a bit annoyed and irritated to do it again. So I think I'm angry about myself for putting myself in this situation. Um, there's a part of me that thinks, well, if you don't want to do it now, don't, and you can do it later. And there's also a choice of doing it now because I'm getting tired and I want to get some rest for the rest of the day after that. Um, so anger there, I'm interested in exploring what and in which way this energy, I consider the energy of anger as something that is some kind of fire, an energy that's trying to protect our boundaries, to either protect or restore our integrity. So I like to question what integrity is uh, under attack or in danger. For me, when I feel anger about me doing this video right now, I think there's something that comes up for me, which is I value a lot sincerity and also care. So definitely, I think this energy of anger is really about trying to protect a sense of sincerity, strengthen a sense of sincerity, and strengthen um, the self care that I'm manifesting to myself. So how can I am I honoring myself when I in that space of anger? That's the question. And what about you when you feel? What are you angry about? Do you feel angry, or do you remember a moment where you felt angry, and what this energy was trying to protect in terms of your boundaries and your integrity? What was it trying to restore? What was the energy of anger encouraging you, inviting you to restore in terms of your boundaries and integrity? Um, Welcome to the video in live. So I'm struggling right now, and I'm angry with myself for not having more energy than I have right now. Is that there's a part of me that is really kind of attacking myself for being tired and not, you know, um, so that there's some kind of inner fight ongoing right now. And so I'm interested in making space for this feeling there, the anger, and finding ways to honor it more. So for now, I don't have any answer. I'm asking myself, what comes up? What do I see possible in terms of expressing what I feel and honoring myself and honoring you and honoring us as humanity. So I have the impulse to do a few seconds of silence just to let you and I arrive more deeply, settle a tiny bit more, chill a bit more in this moment, to allow more clarity about what's desired and how we can move towards what's desired. So I'm still in touch with some anger towards myself about being tired and about not having the energy to tell you what I shared in a video in French. I have some anger about some people, with two person I'm thinking of, with whom I had interactions this week that feels painful. Out of some kind of clarity and mutual understanding that is not there yet. And I guess the anger for me is really around wanting to invest my energy into dynamics that really replenish me, restore me, nourishes me, help me rest and feel charged and alive and joyful and loving. Yeah, I think that's the energy of anger is to support that for me. And when I see that, I actually love the energy, and I find it very honoring. So I think for me it's enough just connecting to the fact that the clarity of that brings just a question that doesn't need an answer right now. I mean, the answer is just listening. Listening to the question in itself is an answer. It is for me. And so, yeah, what would be concretely a next step for me towards honoring? What did I say? Yeah, something around putting myself into dynamic and finding myself more in dynamics that replenish and nourish me and brings peace and a sense of rest and recharging. So I think what as a next step for me is to just take a second to imagine, and I'd like to invite you to do the same. Imagine, the quality you would like to see more in your life. If, for example, what you want is to have more, like me, more interactions, more experiences that really recharge you and nourish you. Let's imagine for a second that we have a tiny bit more of that in our life. How do we feel? Just imagine that we have a tiny bit more of dynamics in our lives that feels refreshing, regenerating, resourcing, connecting, healing, caring, softening, soothing. How do we feel? Just imagine we have a tiny bit more of all of that. Relief for me, relief. I feel my chest is more open. I feel all my cells are more open. There's an openness that comes up, and warmth, and lightness. So, what could be a concrete next step to get even more of that? For me, I want to celebrate that I did this video early enough, and I think I want to do more of that. Just imagine, if I had a tiny bit more of that quality I want to find in my life, this replenishing mode, this replenishing dynamics, this replenishing relationships, this replenishing activities. If I had a bit more of that in my life, just imagine that I have a bit more of all that in my life, just a tiny bit or a lot more in my life. How do I feel? How do you feel imagining you have more of replenishing activities and relationships in your life? How do you feel? Having more experiences that recharge you, reconnect you, resource you. How do you feel? Imagining having more of that. Just a tiny bit more of that. For me, what comes up is more meditation and more sleep. Actually, what I'm going to do is to take habits this week to wake up earlier, but therefore really plan at what time I'm going to go to bed to make sure I have enough rest between the time I go to bed and the time I want to wake up. That's the intention of the day. What about you? Did you identify one step you could take to to get more of what you want? Anyway, thank you for your attention. I'm wondering if I want to say more about finishing this video. Yeah, I could talk about money. I could talk about my financial situation. I could talk about what we want to give, what we want to receive. So I feel ashamed and angry about those two person I mentioned. There's something very painful for me around dynamic with them, and I'm wondering what would be replenishing about that concretely. What step forward could I take? What I can say is that we are all where we are. We do our best, and even with our best intentions, sometimes we don't have it's not a good time. It's not for some reasons, whatever reasons it is. Sometimes we fail. Sometimes we fail. Sometimes I fail to create the kind of connection I'd like to create. So I guess there's something around accepting that we are where we are and we do our best. Just checking if there's more I want to say, but I'm noticing that I feel tired and I really want to move on and do something else. So I think on the topic of anger right now, I just want to check where I am, if there's more I want to say on this topic. Yeah, I can sense a little bit of anger towards myself for not finishing this video right now because I'm tired. So this energy, this anger is really about wanting to support my integrity and getting enough rest, really. So I'm gonna act upon that and say thanks for your attention. I do more video tomorrow, and for now, I invite us all to remember that there is a lot of love for all of us available right now.